Have you ever felt that eerie sensation in an old house? Like there's more than just dust and memories in the air? Well, that's exactly what we're delving into today on Beyond the Hub podcast.
Hey everyone, I'm Brandon.
And I'm Nick. Knock on your microphone.
Yeah, I might have to move that. This week's topic is going to be Nick's paranormal investigations. We're kicking off another 3-part series. So our buddy hit up Nick, and he was dead certain his place was haunted by a little girl's ghost. So, of course, intrigued by the mystery, Nick jumped at the chance to investigate.
Stepping into the house, you could practically cut the tension with a knife. It was like the walls themselves were like holding their breath. So armed with my trusty EMF detector, my buddy Marcus and I began the investigation.
So, for those of you who may not know, can you explain exactly what an EMF detector is?
So basically an EMF detector is a device that measures electromagnetic fields. Sorry, I'm not speaking on the mic. It's commonly used in ghost hunting because some people believe that spirits can create like disturbances in electromagnetic fields.
So what does it actually detect? How does it measure this electromagnetic disturbances?
So like a normal like reading in a like a typical household might range from 0 to 2 milligauss, and which is, you know, the unit to measure electromagnetic fields.
Okay, so is that like the baseline is 0 to 2?
It could vary based on specific, like if you're closer to an electrical current or whatnot have you, but like that is a basic reading.
Okay. So what would constitute an abnormal reading?
I would say anything exceeding like 2 to 3 milligauss, like that might, like something that occurs like so spontaneous,
Sudden?
so sudden, could be like it could be something paranormal.
Okay.
It's like it's usually something that's like transient. So like if you have an instance where it's a base reading and then there's this huge spike and that you don't get that for the rest of the night, then there was something weird about that.
I see. So is there any association between EMF exposure and like any potential side effects?
It's based on some studies, but they usually say like a high level of EMF exposure can cause certain health symptoms like headaches, fatigue, and sleep disturbances.
Okay, so nothing like permanent damage,
No.
like radiation.
Not unless I wouldn't even say like if you were there for like so long. It'd have to be above 1,000
Okay.
for it to like totally
So this detector
start.
helps you find the smaller changes in the electromagnetic field in the area.
Yeah, because they naturally occur.
Right. Okay, cool. So for those of you who weren't aware, that is what an EMF detector does and how it is used in the paranormal investigation practices. So let's journey into this investigation you did. How exactly would you say this came about? As we stated, somebody said something to you, but what was the lead up to that?
So a buddy reached out to me saying that there was he felt like there was a little girl like in his bedroom.
And he knew of your paranormal investigative works.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So when you actually got there, what was going through your mind as you were venturing into the house?
So you always try to remain skeptical.
Okay.
So I go in that mindset where not like but like in a point where like I'm keeping an open mind to the situation.
Right.
I want to know for myself. I don't like to know too much information. It's like knowing like that little girl might have been a little bit too much for me to like, because I think subconsciously you start trying to find things like that.
I see.
So I try to go in with open mind, not really knowing what else or like what everything is there.
So you just would rather be contacted as, hey, there's something going on here. this is what has happened in my experience. Come check it out.
Yes.
Blanket like that, so
Yeah.
you can go and see for yourself without being tainted by what someone else's preconceived idea of it is.
Yes.
I see. That's a very good way to go about the investigations because you don't have any sort of bias when you go into it.
Yes.
I like that. So can you describe the atmosphere and any potential specific experiences that stood out to you?
Definitely. Right when we first walked in, you feel, like I said, we say earlier, like this tension.
Mm-hmm.
It was weird because he basically left the keys for us and let us do our own thing there.
Oh, so he wasn't present.
No.
Okay.
This was just Marcus and I. We walked in, we instantly fell. It was just, the vibe was off.
Okay. Well, I think it can go to show that this might be a case of the location itself having some sort of paranormal haunting or attachment or spiritual attachment to it. As we've discussed in previous episodes,
Yeah.
there's both possible of it being attached to somebody or the place itself, the land, the house, the building. This might be a case of where there's something in the house because
Yeah.
he wasn't there.
No.
So that's a good way to rule it out.
Yeah.
It's cool that he was okay with you going and checking it out without him being there.
Yeah.
So what was it about the upstairs bedroom that he claimed was the area where he experienced his activity? What felt different from the rest of the house in that bedroom?
There's just something that you could just, and we discussed this in like another, in one of my videos where, like the weekly corner video, where you can like sense like someone standing behind you.
Yeah, it's like a
Almost.
sixth sense kind of thing.
It just felt like that, like only up in that bedroom. And it was into the bedroom. Like the original thought was that he saw this little girl going into the bathroom, but it was like in the room, like as their bedroom's here, it leads right into their bathroom.
Okay. Was it the bedroom of his child?
No, this was like his
bedroom?
actual bedroom. Yeah.
Okay. So what can you give us about, like, when it comes to a little bit more detail about the encounter? Like, what made it defy explanations to where he felt the need to call you?
It got to the point where stuff started happening to his child.
Okay.
So when it starts affecting, like his child was starting to notice things, and then, like, you don't really mess with that kind of thing. When it starts-
Absolutely.
yeah.
I wouldn't hesitate. I mean, me personally, I have my idea of what I would do, but to reach out and see if he's going crazy, is he losing
Yeah.
his mind? You know, is
Just want
his
confirmation.
confirmation is his I mean, maybe he shared it with his child or children, that he was experiencing something, and maybe that put an idea in their head. Because, like, for me personally, if I was to experience something like that, where in my bedroom I felt a presence, or in my kid's bedroom I felt a presence, I wouldn't ask him, hey, do you feel a weird presence here? Not saying that's what, you know, the person who asked you to come check it out is that's what they did, but the possibility is there.
Yeah.
So, like, if my son came to me and said, Daddy, there's some creepy thing under my bed, I want him to come to me without any preconceived ideas of what that could be, so that I know it's a genuine experience. I don't want him to be like, well, Daddy said there's weird stuff that exists and it might be in the house, so, oh, there's something under the bed, I saw it, because I put the idea in his head, right? So I think that's also very important to rule out, you know, logical things that you can try to rule out when it just comes to the human psyche.
Yeah.
So what did you exactly hope to achieve by going there? I remember you told me you used this Ovilus device.
Yes.
What is the Ovilus?
So if you're not familiar with an Ovilus, they use it on a lot of ghost hunting shows. It's used basically to facilitate communication with spirits or entities. It generates words or phrases based on environmental data, electromagnetic fields, temperature, and even vibrations. It has a word database of over 5,000 words in it. And some believe that the spirits can manipulate this data to convey messages through the device.
So when you used the Ovilus, what kind of feedback interaction did you get?
It was giving accurate and intelligent responses to what we were asking it.
Okay.
And then, I'll get to this in future questions, but I mean, what happened at the end of the night with the Ovilus was still something that I still think about to this day.
It moved you that much?
Yeah.
Wow. Do you think that this investigation has changed your beliefs or your understanding of the paranormal in any way?
I would say it only has intensified it. And I'll tell you now. I'll tell you. So we were up in the bedroom using the Ovilus. Nothing was going on with the Ovilus. At the time, we were seeing little tiny orbs.
In person?
In person.
Wow.
And then on the camera. And then sometimes you could see them in person, but not on the camera. It's such a strange thing. But all of a sudden, the Ovilus hadn't said anything for a while. And all of a sudden, because it speaks the word. So if a word comes through it, it starts to speak that word. So which adds to it being creepy. It said the word in the same tone, surprise.
That would have creeped me out.
And we were so scared. I literally like, what?
So this was unprovoked. You didn't ask it a question. It just says surprise.
I should here. Let me construct this better. Earlier in the investigation, we used the Ovilus, and I asked it, "Are you able to show yourself?" It said, "Yeah." It responded yes to the question.
Okay.
And then I said, "Would you be able? Would you show yourself to us?" It said, "Yeah." So this was we're like an hour and a half before.
Okay.
So this is where we asked it. And then we asked it if it uses a lot of energy to expose itself or communicate with us, and it said yes.
So you left the Ovilus running so that you could pick up anything potentially, right? So it goes about an hour and a half after those questions you asked, and then it just randomly comes in.
There was some other, surprise. Because we had it continuing going on, and we were like investigating other areas of the house. But then we went back upstairs. Nothing was really going on to the Ovilus, and then unprovoked, it just said the word surprise.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, this was in front of Marcus and I, because we were zoomed in on something else. In the corner of the room, this huge ball of light, I'm talking maybe 3 feet, and it was so bright, and it shot from that corner of the room towards us, towards the closet, and then just disappeared.
What the hell, dude?
We were screaming like little baby, or at least I was.
Okay, so it said surprise and then did that?
Yes. Unprovoked, except we talked about asking it earlier, but then there was nothing that happened, and then I thought
okay. And this is so what's important in this case is that there's 2 accounts. There's you and Marcus, and both your stories lined up, because I've spoken to Marcus about this a while back after you did this investigation. We went out to dinner one time, and I asked him about how it went. So he can account for the same experience that you had. What? But you just said you were scared and screamed.
Oh, yeah.
You screamed about it, but
this is what you want. This is what you want to see.
What did you feel like that could have been? What do you think? Because you said it was a completely, to the naked eye, visible 3 foot. That's like this big, a big orb.
And where it was positioned, it was next to a window, but the window was covered by a blanket. Okay. So there was no way that headlights could have gone in that area and formed itself along the wall. And you can tell headlights the way.
So was this ball traveling along the wall? Did it travel open in the air? Right
open in the air.
That is crazy.
This big mass. It was one of the crazy. It's up there in the top 3 craziest things I've ever experienced.
Wow.
And it shook me to my core. It was to the point where I was stunned. I couldn't move.
Did you capture it on camera?
No, of course not.
Of course not.
Because I was filming another camera that he was focused on. And so after this thing appeared, it appeared in little tiny small things afterwards. But that's always the case.
Yep.
I was focusing, and then when it happened, I'm like, oh, ah! And I'm in my head afterwards, I'm so this is why no one believes any of it.
Yep.
But It's something that if you were there, it would have changed your entire outlook on the paranormal.
And I believe people when they have an experience that shakes them to their core, and it absolutely changes the way they view the world in general, like our existence. So, with that being said, what do you think we as a paranormal community have learned about the mysteries of the supernatural from this experience?
I would say that based on what I witnessed, we are not alone.
I truly don't believe we are also. Like, I go off way onto tangents, but I want to definitely stay focused in on this investigation because that blew my mind. I mean, well, I want to know why he thinks it was the spirit of a little girl, where versus, you and Marcus experienced, an orb. Like, I wonder if maybe it revealed itself to him as a little girl. Maybe it revealed itself to you as an orb. What's its true form? And every investigation, while may give you some answers or may confirm some paranormal things happening there, always ends up opening more questions.
And I think like maybe that was his true form, but it was as bright as the sun, so like I couldn't even get a good reading on what it was. It was so giant. And it was like it was so bright.
You couldn't even look directly at it.
I couldn't even look directly at it. We saw it as it was going, and it was just, I don't know, dude.
That's crazy.
It was nuts.
So where can our community find the video of this investigation?
So the full video is up on our YouTube. It's called A Haunting in Upstate New York. And I'm going to play a little...
Before you play it, any advice that you'd like to share for those who want to explore the unknown themselves?
I would just say be very cautious. And if you are going to investigate, make sure you end that communication before you leave.
Okay.
Say, I'm ending this investigation. You are no longer allowed to communicate with us. Maybe say some prayers.
I definitely second the prayers part. All right, so let's check out the footage from your investigation, the haunting in upstate New York.
I'll show a few things from here. All right, you just give me the light up here. 7.9. So that was a 7.9 the second we brought the EMF detector out on the stairs.
So, like you said, how there's when you're using an EMF detector, you're looking for spikes.
Yes.
Did you have a baseline reading before that, or you turned it on at 7.9?
Turned it on 7.9, but the rest of the house wasn't like that. And then when we went back to that spot later, there was nothing.
Okay.
The first stair. I have some music in here that might get us copyrighted. I'll just continue on until I think that. So here we are. We're using the Ovilus device. All right, this should be good here.
A female, is that correct? Is that true or false?
So this is another part of the Ovilus where you can ask questions, true or false, and it'll shoot up an arrow to the top to meaning truth and down to false. This is where we were kind of asking it where, can you show yourself to us? Does it take a lot of energy? Screw it. Here, I'm gonna turn the light on real quick. Camera still recording everything?
Yeah.
I heard the whistle.
And it said, yeah. That wasn't Marcus responding, yeah.
That was Marcus first, wasn't it?
Huh? No, that was not. Like the first, okay, so here. So it says, he says, yeah, and then it like mimics him.
Okay.
My right hand. And then now. So we continue on.
I know Marcus's voice.
Yeah.
The first time
Go
we
first
heard
so I can shine the light.
6.7 by the stairs.
We're in the basement here, so.
Take my shoes off here. Yeah.
It's like something was like on top of my head there. And these are the only things we kept.
Manachi. What does that mean? It said that twice.
Manachi. Sounds Italian.
Oh, Marcus.
Manacci.
I miss that guy.
See how that moved?
I did.
If that was a piece of dust, dust doesn't move. Dust moves in a very even pattern. That was methodical. It was moving on its own fruition. Like that was its own that was its own thing.
Well, dust seems to move with the air current.
But it doesn't move like... So it starts right there, like... This is it slowed down. Move there, jumps up, moves there.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So then we were seeing things. This is where like... So like this is what I meant when I was like... I was recording the other... the other camera. Because the other camera drains the battery if you actually film it in the full spectrum mode. So I was just trying to capture it because we were trying to take pictures with the full spectrum camera, and we take the picture and it wouldn't show up because it was, it's delayed. So I was like, all right, let's film it.
Oh, okay.
There's someone walking above us. Yeah. Did you hear that?
Mm-mm.
Like someone walking around upstairs. 0.4, 0.3. See, now we're at the same, it was a 0.4 in that same spot from earlier. All right, now shut it off. I'm not going to show the part where we jump like little babies, but I'm going to show you the part where it's at
It's in the video if you guys want to come check out the original video.
I do want to not.
Are we still talking to the little girl from earlier? Hunt. What are you hunting? Are you going to tell me what you're hunting?
How clear is it on there?
It's not bad.
Not bad.
I can't see the Ovilus, but
Oh yeah, it said like 2 words before. I forgot about this. And then it says that
Bacon.
why'd you say that so slow?
Temperature.
So it said temperature and then surprise. All right, I'm not going to show.
Bacon. It's hunting bacon. Be careful. The temperature is going to change. Surprise. It's like warning you.
And then we were showing like, and then these things were like appearing afterwards. And see how it disappeared.
Yeah.
Haunting. You got that? Together.
Yep.
You're haunting together.
So there's more than one of you.
Haunting together. So.
Haunting
together inside. Get that on there. Haunting together inside. Interests.
They want their interest. They had a small private loan.
Do you see that?
Yeah. The original owners of the house, they lent them some money and they want their interest back.
Oh yeah, so this is, I just wanted to show you the angle which it appeared that we saw.
Here. Do you want to take this for a minute?
Yeah.
So like this was the blanket that was covering the window.
Right.
So that's just what I wanted to point out. But if you want to watch the rest of it, we'll have the link in the description.
Absolutely encourage you guys to go check out that video. I wasn't there. I don't go on these investigations myself, but with all the conversations that we've had after the investigation, blew my mind. Like part of me wants to be there, but the other part of me is like, no, God tells me not to do that, so I won't do it. Anyway, with all of that being said, the exploration continues, and we can't wait to have you back for more revelations.
And we love hearing your questions and theories, so please keep them coming.
Tune into episode 2 tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And for those of you who are new here, check out our latest videos where we attempt to unravel other mysteries. Link will be in the description. Stay curious and keep seeking the truth.
Thank you for being part of the Beyond the Hub family. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe, please. And this is Beyond the Hub podcast, where the realms of the paranormal and conspiracies collide, and the truth is waiting to be unveiled. We'll see you next time.
Take care, everyone.